We're going to do 51 through 54, and I think it's nice to write on the triangles. And the other is because we're going to do 63 through 70. Do you see how it's just filling in empty spaces on a chart? And I didn't want you to have to copy the chart down in your notebook. Okay, we're not doing 63 through 70 right now. We're going to focus in on 51 through 54. All right. And this is all the only homework I'm going to give you tonight, 51 through 54. I'll add to it tomorrow, so it doesn't even have to be done tonight. You've got to find out what all these things are. So let's start with, I don't care. Anybody have a preference? I'm going to do one of these with you, 51 through 54. What do you want me to do? 51 it is. All right, 51. Hey, the first one's not always the easiest. All right, here we go, 51. All right, it looks to me like I've got a 30, 90, 60 triangle and a 60, 90, 30 triangle. You guys agree? Do you remember the rules? I'm going to draw a quick triangle over here just to remind me so I don't have to flip back and forth to my notebook. Remember, Ryan, how you're like anything but B? By the end of these few days, you might be like, maybe I'll do B. On the tests, the math league test that you have to memorize the 45, 45, and 30, 60. This one's X. Do you remember which one's 2X? Mm-hmm. And what's this one?
X.
X times the square root of 3. The 45, 45 is the square root of 2. Okay. All right. That's the rule we're using. So let's look and see what I've got. If this side right here is 9, I'm looking at this big triangle first. What's this little side? Half of 9, which is 4.5. Well, I don't know how they write it, if they want it as 9 over 2. Where's my dumb book? 51? Yeah, they have it as 9 over 2. All right, so I'm going to write 9 over 2 right here. I'm also going to write next to the problem y equals 9 over 2, so I have my final answers over there. And then this long side is x times the square root of 3. I'm going to do my math in the margins because x is now 9 over 2. So this would be 9 over 2 times the square root of 3 over 1, which is what? Just multiply them across. So 9 times the square root of 3 over 2. I already wrote over it. What was that, x?
Yes.
All right, now I've got these. All right, now we're going to try this little triangle. This time, this tall edge is 9 over 2. Which is the tall edge here?
That's the X.
Right? So I'm going to set up a little algebra problem up here. I'm going to write x times the square root of 3 equals 9 over 2. How do I get x by itself? Divide by the square root of 3. So that's x equals 9 over 2 times the square root of 3. But I can't have a square root of 3 on the bottom, right? So what do? Multiply by the square root of 3, square root of 3, which equals 9 square roots of 3 over 6. Because the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is what? The square root of 9, which is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And then I can reduce this to what? Reduce the 9 and the 6. 3 and 2. All right, I'm going to put that one in down here. This was actually, I think, one of the harder problems. 3 times the square root of 3 over 2 goes down here, and that is z. And finally, we have this slanty diagonal. What do I have to do for that one? Yes, I take whatever this bottom is and multiply it by 2, and the bottom is this. So on the side here, just to write it up here, I'm going to write 3 times the square root of 3 over 2 times 2.
Six.
Those cancel out. I'm left with just 3 times the square root of 3. Or I guess you could have said 6 times the square root of 3 over 2 and then reduce the 6 and the 2. So this is 3 square roots of 3, and that's the answer for W.
How did you get Z again?
How did I get Z? Is Z this one?
No, that one.
This one.
The three, yeah.
So I realized that this tall part of the triangle was equivalent to x times the square root of 3. So then I set it equal to each other. I said x times the square root of 3 is 9 over 2. And then to get x by itself, I divided by the square root of 3 on both sides, so that got put it down here. And then I rationalized the denominator and got up here 9 times the square root of 3 over 2 times square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 6, or 2 times 3 is 6, and then reduced it to 3 halves. It's complicated math, and it's tough to do. Is your brain burnt out? Why don't you try right now, let's make this easy. Not easy, but let's make it gentle. Why don't you try doing one problem with your partner and then quit? We won't have any homework, and we'll start here tomorrow where you can work on it tomorrow a little bit more together. Pick one. Pick 52, 53, 54. Try it together.
So we know this is a, so we know this is a 30, 90, we know this is a 60. Okay. So let's see, here's the picture.